Hey Libra, welcome to Sweet Tea Astrology and Tarot. My name is Erika. So glad that you found me. Welcome to the channel, and I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you for joining me. This is your July 2017 tarot card reading, where I'm going to pull 4 cards for my Rider-Waite tarot deck. I'm going to pull a card from the Illuminated Tarot deck by Caitlin Keegan. I'm going to pull an oracle card from the Divine Circus Oracle card deck by Elena Fairchild. I'm going to round out the reading with a Sage Goddess Gemstone Oracle card. So let me grab my cards and go ahead and start shuffling for you, lovely Libra. Going to have a full moon at 17 degrees of Capricorn on the 9th of July. Could be the day before, the day after, really depends on where you live on the planet. But regardless, it's around that time. Going to be occurring for my Libra rising individuals, those who are a Libra ascendant. The house placements are exact for you. This full moon will be occurring in your 4th house, illuminating and bringing forth either emotions, making emotions rise like the tide, or illuminating a situation in that 4th house of home and family, or roots and foundations. 4th house is traditionally ruled by Cancer. It is the house where your home and your family is. Home is where you live, where you consider home to be. Family is who you share that home with. Roots and foundations can be your bones and your teeth, but also the roots and foundations of the structure, and could also apply to your political ideology, your tightly held religious beliefs, and your philosophies. A lot of the focus of the month, though, is going to be, aside from that full moon that's happening at the beginning of the month, a lot of the focus of July is going to be in the 11th house, and this is the house of your friends, groups, memberships, teams, and associations that you belong to. It's also the house of the internet, and it can cover your future wishes, goals, and dreams, or your bucket list, Libra. So that's the big themes for the month for you, because I know more of you watch the tarot card reading than anything else, so just to give y'all a heads up. Okay, bottom card represents the underlying theme or overarching energy for my Libras, and the top 3 are for clarity. If you need a time frame associated with these cards: past, present, future. Now let me shuffle for you from the Illuminated Tarot deck by Caitlin Keegan. I used this deck in the June full moon oracle card reading. I really like the energy of this deck. Caitlin has taken the major arcana of the tarot deck and condensed it into the minor arcana. And this deck can actually be used as a regular playing card deck. The suits are the traditional playing card suits. That would be hearts, diamonds, clovers, and spades. But I've written on this deck and kind of made it my own. I will also give the traditional Rider-Waite tarot associations with the card that is chosen for you for this reading, Libra. One more shuffle and I'll cut. Okay. Here's your Illuminated Tarot deck card. Adds a little bit of clarity or emphasis. I'm now shuffling for you from the Divine Circus Oracle deck. This deck is by Elena Fairchild. I'm going to cut for you now, Libra. There's your Divine Circus Oracle card. And finally, from the Sage Goddess Gemstone Oracle deck, for my lovely Libras, for the month of July 2017. We are also we're energetically preparing for the eclipse season of August. Have have a lunar and total solar lunar eclipse in Leo that will be going over the continent of the United States. There is your Sage Goddess Gemstone Oracle card. Okay, Libra, what I'm going to do now is hit the pause button, flip these cards over. I'm going to do the tarot math. I'm going to look at my astrology notes, and I'm also going to meditate over these cards, try to bring forth the best information that I can for you on the other side of the video. So hang tight, y'all. I'll be right back. Hey Libra, I'm back with your cards, so let's go ahead and get started. The underlying theme or overarching energy for this July 2017 reading is the Two of Pentacles in reverse. The Two speaks to the theme of duality. The Pentacles can represent money or resources, anything you would expend on another living thing or situation that you care about. This doesn't have to be money, but it can be. It can also be your time, energy, devotion, love, guidance, nurturing, etc. Card represents balance and adaptability. The fact that it's in reverse indicates that there is an issue with either you or someone around you who is having a hard time balancing or being adaptable to issues. Pentacles can also represent earth sign energy. This can be Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. I feel like they may also involve or embody some strong Aries energy, or may also be reflective of the Venus retrograde energy in Aries. Been a lot of red hats showing up in my readings. Whenever I see the red hat, I think of Aries. The reason for that being is red represents fire for me. Aries represents the head. That's red Aries. That's fire. That's what I'm seeing right here, is maybe a situation being reflected on because of the Venus retrograde that occurred earlier this year. That Venus retrograde occurred between your 6th and 7th houses. That would be partnerships, relationships, open enemies, and counseling, and then your work and health, or the competency and skills that you bring to the services that you provide. It may not be you, it may be this person that's having a difficult time in those areas. Again, this could represent earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn as well. But this individual or this circumstance is having a hard time finding its footing. In the background, there are ships that are going up and down. It could be the reason they're having a hard time finding their balance or adaptability is that they've suffered or dealt with some sort of emotional loss that is really, when they feel like they're over it, then the tide comes back in and they're flooded again. This character's position is looking and reflecting towards the past as well, which has me concerned that it may be revolving around someone who was highly valued or something that was highly valued as well. It doesn't have to be a person, but it could be. Now, the first card in the top three for clarity that I pulled for you is the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight speaks to the theme of change. And the Pentacles, once again, money, resources, time, energy, devotion, love, your health, as well as a resource. You can't do anything else without your health. Representative of our sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. The Eight speaks to change. This card represents education or engagement. I see this as the journeyman. Earlier in the Pentacles suit, there's a Three of Pentacles card where there's a little dude standing like in a church and he's working on some very intricate work, and there's people watching him. It's like there are people over his shoulder watching him. Nobody has to be over this guy's shoulder. He's capable of doing the job. He's got a lot ahead of him to have to do. He's only produced one, but he's got a to-do list. It may be a to-do list that you have to deal with. The number 8 also speaks to me about the 8th house on the astrological wheel, which represents Scorpio. So you could be involved with or dealing with some Scorpionic energy. The number 2, second house, that's the house of Taurus. Something interesting, I just got finished talking about the Venus retrograde associated with that. This card also could have an association with that as well, because Venus is actually in the 8th house at the beginning of July. So the 8th house is dealing with other people's money, life, death, and rebirth. That house of Scorpio. Transformation, metamorphosis, regeneration. What I like about this card is the fact that he is in the upright. He is able to produce, even if it isn't as fast as you think that it should be happening. He is able to produce and doesn't need somebody over his shoulder, and in the position of going towards the future. So that's nice as well. Could be trying to stack up money, or thinking about how in the past you didn't, or you for whatever reason weren't using your resources properly. You learned the lesson and now will be, is another way that could be playing out. The card that represents the present energy in the situation is the 4 of Swords. The number 4 speaks to a couple of different things. The number 4 speaks to the theme of stability, but it could also speak to that 4th house on the astrological wheel. That house is traditionally ruled by Cancer, and it's the house of your home and your family, your roots and your foundations. You've got Pluto transiting through that 4th house, Libra. And Pluto is a very deep, transformational planet. I think of coastal erosion when I think of a Pluto transit, because it's something that's occurring at all times, but we just don't know it or notice it, or are able to even acknowledge it without a meta perspective or before and after picture. This card deals with recuperation, being passive, possibly needing a lot of sleep or a need for rest, maybe bed rest. There could be someone in your home that needs to be put on bed rest. There are, a few of you that may be dealing with the passage of someone, dealing with home and family. The cutting away of roots and foundations as well also could be a theme that you feel, or that is felt around you. Like I said, it could be you, it could be someone around you. But the house placements, again, if I haven't mentioned it in this video, the house placements are based on Libra rising or Libra ascendant. And Pluto is, it's known as, it's not the planet of death, but plutonium. It's deadly, right? It can be deadly, and I don't want to say that it's death for everyone. That's not the case, but with Venus being in that 8th house at the beginning of July, it could be that you are valuing someone or reflecting on what someone meant to you, or how much time and energy you put into it, and now it needs to be cut away, or it's gone, or it's leaving for whatever reason. It doesn't have to be, but it could be. For some of you, it may feel like time is marching on. Something else, and I don't know why, I've never seen it like this before, but it popped in my head. I saw this as like siblings, okay? Like 3 siblings, and this is like a hidden sibling, like someone wasn't known about and it's been uncovered. Like a secret person coming out of the dark as well could possibly be the case for a couple of you out there. I've never noticed that card like that before. But it's also dealing with the home and the family and the roots and foundations, so it could possibly play out like that. It's so interesting how this stuff works sometimes. The card that fell in the future position in the top 3 for clarity is the Hierophant card, and this is a Major Arcana card. This is the number 5 card of the Major Arcana. The 5 speaks to a couple of different things. Firstly, it could be adversity, possibly. Doesn't have to be, but that's a theme associated with the number 5. When I think of the number 5 associated with the tarot cards, I also think of the 5th house on the astrological wheel. That house is the house of Leo. There's a lot of Leo energy going on in the month of July. It's Leo season. That's your 11th house. The Hierophant is representative of the zodiac sign of Taurus. Deals with determination. And I see this also as a very determined card, trying to get it done. This card deals with seeking a moral or spiritual lesson, or experiencing growth from a moral or spiritual lesson. Can be for good or for bad. Could also represent a search for meaning or dealing with authority figures. I also see the Hierophant card as like a bureaucracy card, and what I mean by that is that there's an application process. There's other people that have to put in their shuffling of paperwork or shuffling of emails. There's committees. There's other people that have to put their signatures. It's not just one person that can make the yes or no decision. It's there's figureheads involved as well. It could be. That 5th house, like I said, ruled by Leo. It's the house of sparks and creation. It's I like to think of it as having your DNA and fingerprints all over it, because it's where you've got the most skin in the game. It's your children. It's where you create your children. It's where you fall in love. It's the house of romance. It's where you go to seek pleasure, and it's where you enjoy your social life. It's really where you go to be a kid, and where you go to blow off steam, where you go to do your artwork, where you go to make your masterpieces. So, I mean, for some of you, it may be that you're dealing with going through the bureaucratic process of recognizing a long-lost sibling or a long-lost family member, or you're going through the bureaucratic process of laying a family member to rest, or putting a relationship to rest, possibly as well, like a marital relationship. For some of you, it could be the case. And I don't know why, but I feel like it's full steam ahead just by the posturing of this character right here, moving on into the future towards that Hierophant card. I did the tarot math for you on this spread for the Rider-Waite Tarot, the first 4 cards that I spoke about. It ended up being a total of 19. 1 plus 9 is 10, and that speaks to the Capricorn ruled house of the stage that you approach the world on, and how the world knows you through your career and your status and your reputation. It's how you deal with authority figures, dealing with authority figures. It's a house of destiny. So the one thing that is important as well for you to understand is that I'm doing this video in June. It's for July for you, but you have the opportunity in watching this to go back and watch your June video. And there's a lot of focus in your 10th house during the month of June, so I suggest you doing that to help you make the best decisions that you can, or give you some perspective or a better idea as to what's going on. I always believe forewarned is forearmed, and I try my best to empower y'all with the most relevant information that I can bring forth, and from every side and angle that I can see as well. From the Illuminated Tarot deck, I pulled for you the 5 of Spades, and this is representative of a difficult opponent or possible disappointment. I also see this as holding your cards close to your chest, or someone holding their cards close to their chest. I also see this as like poker face kind of stuff, just because of the actual card representation of the picture here. I see this as one party knowing the facts and one party still being hidden, or one party having the information not clear or not relevant, not available. That number 5, again, speaking to the theme of adversity. The 5 of Spades is reflective of the 5 of Swords in the Rider-Waite Tarot. And that's what this card looks like. Once again, that 5th house focus. The house of Leo. There could be a Leo that's important in your world. Could be a Taurus as well. Could be a Capricorn because of the tarot math. So, what do we got? Taurus, Capricorn, and Leo, just because of the cards and their associations of the math. This 5, again, adversity. 5th house, the house of Leo, creation, your children or childlike activities, social life, pleasures, and your creation of masterpieces. It's also romance and falling in love. The House of Sparks, the spark of creation, the spark of love, and the spark of life. Could be that there is, well, the swords represent air sign energy. The air signs are Gemini, you, Libra, and Aquarius. But this Five of Swords indicates conflict, tension, or defeat. And this guy is looking to the past. He's also looking to these characters back here who have thrown down their swords and walked away. This guy could be very petty, argumentative, doing it more for his own enjoyment or his... these people are sick of his shit, whatever he's been doing. If this could be you, this could be someone else. But these people are tired of it and they're walking away. And some of you may feel left alone because of that as well. Or you may be leaving somebody alone because of it. There's silver lining in the situation, but you're going to have to dig for it. You've got tools in both of your hands to where you can, but it's not going to be fun. The process won't be easy, but it'll be worth it. I also pulled for you from the Sage Goddess Gemstone Oracle card deck. This is the Lapis Lazuli card. It deals with insight, honesty, and regality, and it can help heal and amplify the vibrations of the third eye chakra. This card reads, Lapis Lazuli brings good fortune, luck, and a regal sensibility, invoking your inner queen or king. You have pulled this card because you need a reminder to walk with your head held high in mind, body, and in spirit. So meditate with Lapis Lazuli to invoke a spirit of confidence and to connect deeply to your past lives and to speak your truth with assurance and love. I actually have a Lapis Lazuli pendant that I'm wearing right now. Hang on one second, I'll show it to you. It was a birthday gift that was given to me earlier this year. It looks like it's a chunk of Lapis Lazuli, and one of my girlfriend's grandfathers wired it to where it looks like a little owl, a little hoo owl, a little hooty hoot. Anyways, that's Lapis Lazuli. The final card that I pulled for you is from the Divine Circus Oracle deck. That deck is by Elena Fairchild, and it's the number 20 card from the deck. Now, she looks like, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not, or if it's going to translate through me shooting this and then uploading it to the internet and blah, blah, blah. But she looks bruised and beat up. She's got a little dark here, a little dark here. Her face looks like she's been smacked up a little bit. Her makeup looks a little smudged. And it's like the only thing that she has in this world right now that can pacify her is that sucker. That lollipop. That little bit of sweetness right there in front of her. It could be her carrot on a stick. Something interesting that I thought that I needed to bring across to you as well is the fact that you're going to have Mars moving into Leo, and this is going to move into your 11th house on the 20th of the month. And I felt like that was pretty synchronistic. So you may be dealing with some arguments with your sweetheart in one way or another, because Mars can be a very aggressive energy. It's moving into the 11th house, and that's the house of your friends, memberships, groups, teams, and associations that you belong to. It also deals with your future wishes, goals, and dreams and your bucket list. So it could be that some of you may be arguing or dealing with some aggressiveness from your sweetheart or with your sweetheart if you have somebody in your world. That doesn't necessarily apply for all of you, of course, but it could be the case for some of you. And I wanted to bring that forth because, like I said, forewarned is forearmed. The Sweetheart card heralds a new cycle, and it can be a much sweeter one, a much more loving one, and it promises you new growth or new life. This card asks that you reevaluate your circle right now. Are you surrounded by supportive friends, or are you surrounded by toxic relationships? Once you've assessed where you're at in those relationships, be them supportive or toxic, then you have to decide whether they are worth being in your world or not, devoting energy to them or not. Some can be rehabilitated and saved. Others will just have to be removed. And you know more often than not already which ones are the toxic ones and which ones can be saved and which ones can't. This will require tough communication from you. It might require a separation for your sanity's sake. Understand, though, that you cannot enjoy the sweetness that the universe wants to bring into your life if it's cluttered with stuff that isn't good for you, or that's distracting you, or that's taking up space in your world. The universe isn't going to give you anything more than what you can handle. And if your world is already full, it's not going to overburden you with more stuff. Or that's the way that it normally goes, right? We all have periods in time where it's like, come on now, I can't handle any more of this. And it still keeps coming. Those are usually because we've fought against learning lesson after lesson after lesson. And there's a reason why this stuff gets progressively harder. The point is that if your life is cluttered with stuff that isn't serving you or good for you or distracting you, then it isn't good for you. It could even possibly be working against you. The Sweetheart card asks that you create some space for the new to come in, because it's way past time, Sweetheart. So, Libra, that's what I've got for you for the month of July 2017. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you already have, I thank you from the bottom of my very grateful heart. If you're looking for your astrology or full moon oracle card readings, I'm going to have them in the information bubble above. I'm going to shoot those after I get finished with this series of videos. So send me some loving energy on that end. I do hope that you're well, Libra. I'm sending you so much love. Please take care of yourself and please be kind to yourself. Save some of that kindness for others, because we're all going through private battles in our world that some of us may never speak about to another living soul. So tiptoe gently in the lives of others. I'm sending you so much love. Take care, and until next time, namaste, bye, and I love you, Libra.